Saturday, November 24th, 2021. I'm in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. Over my lifetime, there has been, I only know the Italians as Louis and my grandfather. But then I've heard things like say, well, just say you're Northern Italian because that means something. I was speaking with Miguel the other day, and he goes, well, you're not really Italian. And I'm like, well, I guess it all depends on the year and the whatever, the sectioning that's going on. I really don't know how that works. I mean, perhaps more Austrian would be a better, but I don't really know why Italy stops where it stops and why Austria. I mean, I wouldn't even know how to find that kind of stuff out. But on the television, on the movies in Hollywood, which is the only place I know that they make movies, is they call the whole movie production and studio, they refer to it as something called Hollywood. So I don't really know if there's a distinction class within it or how they separate out who's what. I really, again, I haven't been exposed to the field. But they always portray New York and the Italians as like these rough, tough, like put up your dukes, like gonna fight, and they always have this very distinct New York accent, which some New Yorkers do. It's not my area of New York, but it does exist, of course. And there is a gentleman who reminds me a little bit of Hector Barcelli from next door. They call him Produce Pete. He's on television this morning. I had done one of my YouTube videos on artichokes. This is the same one. It's starting to go bad now, but it's the only one that Louis bought me, so I'm trying to keep it in the fridge and hold on to it as a reference. Like I had said, it had some reference to USA. Mine has spikes on it, and now it's going bad, so that's why it's turning, but there's spikes on the edges. The Produce Pete gentleman, who I assumed was from New York because he was on the New York television, on the New York programming, says that their artichokes are larger, which I'll show in a minute, and they're all green, they're larger, and they don't have these spikes on the tops of they don't have spikes on the tops of the leaves. He mentions something about California, but again, I don't know where things are coming from. Just before Pete, I remember Pete from when I was a kid and hearing him in the background. He was always the aficionado on apples in the fall. That's his claim to fame when I was in and out of Linda and Lou's residence, since I lived out a little further in I didn't really watch the news program except if I came over to Linda and Lou's. Alright, so this is the reference.
Trader Joe's is taking over the historic bridge market space under the Queensboro Bridge on East 59th
and it says
Street.
Trader
The store's design
Joe's.
kept the building's original vaulted and tiled ceilings, and opening day next Thursday at 8 a.m. So, if you go to Trader Joe's and you're looking to add to your holiday meals and shopping anywhere else, Pete says you've got to consider artichokes. They make a good addition and complement main dishes as well. So says Betty. Here's Produce Pete on how to pick the right ones.
Hey, good morning. Well, I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. You know, at the Napolitano family, we had a really good Thanksgiving because Betty made, of course, much too much food, and it was really, really good. Well, you know, the turkey is the #1 thing always at Thanksgiving, but in the Napolitano family, it's really the artichokes. That's right. You know, my father started with artichokes years and years ago, And he always wanted artichokes on the table. That was the first thing. So we always have artichokes for Thanksgiving, and we always have artichokes for Christmas every single year. Now, my mom used to make stuffed artichokes. So what she would do with the stuffed artichokes is she would put black olives in them, and then she would put anchovies in them. Now, I asked Betty not to put the anchovies in because I'm not too crazy about anchovies. But we have, like I said, stuffed artichokes. And my grandkids, they love them when they were babies, and now that they're adults, they still love them. But artichokes are really, really good. They're a spring vegetable, so how do you pick a really good artichoke? Well, what you want to look for is that nice green color on the outside. Now, years ago, artichokes had thorns on them. The variety that they grow right now is the variety that doesn't have the thorns on it, and the thornless variety. So when you look for these artichokes, you want to look for a nice green artichoke on the outside. Now, if it's a little cold in California, you're going to see a little bit of white on the outside. That's what we call winter kiss. And what that does is it really, people look at it and they see the white on it and they say, well, is it bad? No, it actually tenderizes the choke. Now, if you see red on it, that means that the choke usually on the green, if you see red, that usually means that the artichoke is a little tough. You're going to see artichokes, red artichokes. That has nothing to do with it. I'm talking about a green artichoke with a little bit of red on it. It's going to be a little tough. So how do you pick a good artichoke? Well, you want, like I said, you want to look for a nice green artichoke. And then what you want to do is you want to look on the inside. That's the most important thing. Right on the inside, because that's the part where you're going to eat, on the inside here. Now, with the stem, what Mom used to do is, a lot of people cut the stem off. Mom used to take the stem, and she would take a potato peeler, she would peel it off, and what she would do with the stem is, she would make a really nice salad, and it's really good. But if you don't want to do that, you want to leave the stem on for one reason and one reason only, because you want to hold the stem, and what you want to do is, this is how you open an artichoke when you want to stuff it. You want to hold it and push it down like this. Then you're going to open it up, you're going to clean the artichoke out, and you're going to stuff it. And I'm telling you that absolutely, I mean really, really, really good. The Napolitano family loves artichokes. It's our number one thing all the time when we get to eating, for Thanksgiving. And like I said, they're out there, they're available this time of year. Now, if you want a great recipe for Betty's stuffed artichokes, all you have to do is go to producepete.com, click on Betty's recipes, and you'll see the recipe for Betty's stuffed artichokes, and I'm telling you, they're absolutely terrific. I hope you had a really good Thanksgiving, and I'm telling you, but Thanksgiving's over, and what's coming next? Well, you're absolutely right. Christmas will be here really, really soon. So next week, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking about Christmas trees, and I'm going to be telling you why you're going to be paying a little bit more money for Christmas trees this year. I'm Produce Pete reminding you, if you eat right, you're going to live right. And don't forget, artichokes, you're going to love them.
And you can email your questions to Pete or his little friend there at this address, produce.pete@nbcuni.com.
This is channel 4, the Peacock channel, which is the one with the rings. I'm star 1978 star 8378 Nicole Cattaruzza. Artichokes are not something that I see on TV referenced a lot. I use it, though, just to explain a phenomenon that I'm feeling right now. In the New York area, I'm feeling these seismic vibrations. My knees are starting to crack again, and it almost feels, I found a MOSFET, like almost a transistor type electrical gated system by accident on it was a YouTube channel. The woman was teaching exactly how it works, what it was. It felt like I was in like a really important classroom, but I was almost frightened of the information because I'm not quite sure how electric works. I don't know how it arcs. I don't know how it originates. I don't know how it flows. I call it unconditioned at the moment, only because I'm not fluent in the vernacular, nor learned in study under a scholarly program. But what I can feel is within my socket of my knee. I can feel through my heel and then into my knees this popping sensation, and it sounds like cracking, but it also sounds like when lightning bolts hit a tree and the tree the wood snaps and crackles off. That's what it sounds like as I walk. So at times I have to be very ginger. The house also is making cracking sounds in the corners as I don't know if you call it settling, but it's just you'll hear cracks in the corner of the room, especially in the back bedroom where I am. All throughout the night, I'll wake up, I'll hear it. I'll just be sitting, we're not moving the weight distribution in the room, and then I'll hear the cracks throughout the house. And it's becoming more predominant and prevalent. I don't know why. So it is Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken. And I'm in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.